Hi, I'm Isaac Gabriel Gutierrez, and today I want to tell you that there is hope. Although we are people with different backgrounds, we all have something in common. We all know what fear is. None of us were born with it. At the beginning of our life and during our childhood, we did not know fear. We were free. We were not slaves to fear. There were no limits. We began our life discovering, learning, and removing what was not good for us or what did not build us up. But one common day in our lives, fear came. We began to make changes because of fear. We stopped dreaming because of fear. We stopped living together, giving, serving others. We simply stopped living fully because of fear. Today, the whole world lives in fear. The poor and the rich, the intellectual and the illiterate, the religious and spiritual, all alike are experiencing fear. There is a threat that is fueling that fear. What is heard is stronger, but not confirmed. What we do not see is terrifying just because it's constantly repeated by the media. Day by day, fear takes more control of our lives and tells us what to do, where to go, who to live with. It's a fear that begins to dominate the whole world. Today, I have a message of hope. I'm not talking about religion. I want to tell you about the Creator of life, about the one who is faithful to fulfill His promises. There is a God who has promised to never leave you and never abandon you. It is God who with His love casts out fear. He is the God who knows you from before you were born. He is the God who loves you, a God who says that no one can take you from His hand. He is the God who says that no forged weapon that rises against you will prosper. The God who created the heavens and the earth today wants to remind you that He does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Fear is not something that comes from God. Fear is a spirit of timidity, and God says in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 that He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. Fear limits us, and God tells us in Joshua 1 verse 9, "Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you." Fear robs you of peace, and God tells us in John 14:27, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. I do not give it to you as the world gives it. Let not your heart be troubled." But all these promises and commands from God go out the window when the media screams at us all the bad things that can happen if we don't follow certain orders. In a storm of bad news, our bravery is gone, our peace is gone, and fear takes control once again. When we have not given God control of our lives, He cannot take the helm of our hearts. And therefore fear will always have a reserved place in us. If we feed on bad news, if we live speculating, then our hearts will not have peace. It is true, everything that happens today is to make you reflect. Reflect on evil. Reflect on losses. Reflect on a possible solution. But while you stop to reflect on what is happening out there, why not reflect on what is missing within you? Could it be that fear is so great that there's no place for hope? Or is it perhaps that due to so much evil, faith is the last resort? Where are those teachings that were instilled in us by our grandparents? Teachings of faith, hope, love, of a living God. Why do we stop believing and let fear grow in us? Could it be that fear is so credible because it is more tangible? We see fear on the faces of our loved ones and fear powerless to make a change. But what about God? When did God lose His power? Who told us that God was no longer the same? Who told us that God no longer heals? Why nurture fear when God is with us? The virus is not the only thing that is infecting humanity out there. Sadly, we are doing it too. We are spreading fear, lack of faith, and lack of hope. Little by little, we are participating in an early death. Stop. Before infecting others with fear and uncertainty, I encourage you to talk about the living God. Share His greatness. Remember again and again the many miracles that you have seen and experienced. Believe again. God has not changed, so don't minimize Him. Don't limit Him. Let your words give hope, that they collapse uncertainty and fears, and that they lift the fallen and are worthy of repeating. Today, decide to live without fear, that those little ones who are by your side can dream once again like you did, that they do not grow up afraid and without hope. Sow faith in them and in everyone around you, that tomorrow you don't regret what you could have done today. Believe in God. Live by believing in His promises and feed your faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. In the world you will have tribulation, but I have overcome the world. He is our hope.